How's preparations going?
Good. A lot of energy. A lot of energy in the building, a lot of energy in the practice. One more prep day can serve us pretty good.
How does this UConn team just stack up and match up compared to the ones you've seen all the other years?
I mean, they're pretty talented, as always. I think they get more of their stuff that they want to get, and it's less relying on just Paige to do her thing. I think Strong gives them a lot of options because of her ability to score the ball and pass the ball, and her IQ factors into what they do. So I don't think it changes anything as to our emphasis, which is to disrupt their flow and their fluidity of their offense.
Going off of that, could you just compare and contrast from your perspective Joyce and Sarah? And then obviously you have a connection with Allison. I guess just what's that like watching Sarah play at the college level?
I think they're two incredibly talented individuals. What we ask Joyce to do, her responsibilities are a lot different than Sarah. They're both equally as effective in what their responsibilities are for their respective teams. As far as Allison, I don't know how we don't get Sarah Strong, right? I don't, but they did a great job recruiting her. I think she felt comfortable there. It seems like a really good fit for her and her being able to utilize all of her skill set. And I haven't talked to Allison since. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Coach, obviously a couple big losses against UCLA and Texas. You talked about focus and how dialed up in they are. Are they extra dialed in, knowing hey, we want to pick up a win and then drop a game like against Texas or UCLA? Do you feel that at all with them?
I don't feel it like it's UConn, or I feel it like they want to win. That's what it feels like. It feels like, the preparation for all the games that we have to play. Is it a little bit extra special because of UConn? Maybe, but it's very similar to our preparation for all of our big games.
When you play someone like Paige, who is elite and is getting ready, to go to the WNBA, does it help when you have players who have faced her a number of times and kind of know what to expect?
Yeah, familiarity really helps when you're playing a team in a program like UConn because their actions will challenge your defense to be disciplined. And if you've played them before, you aren't as amped up to make sure you're doing the right thing all the time. You're comfortable with knowing that these types of things will happen out there, and it calls for our defense to be disciplined and not have breakdowns. We got to communicate. We got to know how we're guarding certain actions for them. And when you have a seasoned group like we do, you feel good in knowing that maybe you don't get all your stuff in as far as all their actions. You'll get some of them, but you'll know where you need to be and what you need to communicate.
Kind of speaking of UConn connections, Tanya Cardozo on their bench, someone you know well from Temple, and what's it like? What's the relationship like with her? What's it like coaching against her in a game like this?
Yeah, Tanya's my former teammate. We text message throughout the season just to congratulate each other on things. I just want to win. Anytime you can win against a former teammate, it lends you the bragging rights, so to speak. But we don't really do that. It's more of a silent bragging rights, not a in-your-face bragging rights.
Don, you guys were, I think it was 21 for 22 from the line last night. Just how nice was that to kind of have an immediate turnaround and kind of return to form in that regard?
Oh, it hasn't been immediate. If it's immediate, we might have had one less loss, right? It's a difference maker. I think it can create an opportunity for us to win or lose, depending on how efficient we are from the charity stripe. It was good to see those free throws go in, just going into this game as well. So hopefully we can continue the trend.
John, you always talk about growing the game. What's it like to have another opportunity? Gino on one sideline, Young on the other, with all these great players. College game day here. What's that like?
I mean, I think it's great for our game, and I think it speaks to where we are in our game, where it seems like if you're watching a game, every other commercial is, you know, us and UConn, and when you are able to put, I mean, it costs money to actually put those promotions on television, and they wouldn't do it if they didn't get a return on their investment. And I do think you get a return on your investment when you play games like this in the middle of February, where I think they're going to reveal the top 16 seeds. All of that surrounding our game is a build-up towards, you know, the biggest and the best part of our season, which is the NCAA tournament.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.